Have you ever wondered how Facebook was able to raise $16 billion in venture and public funding? And what did they do right that you could use for your own venture? In this video, I will review Facebook's 2004 pitch deck and we'll go over the things they did right, the things they could have done better, and how you can utilize all that information when you're pitching your next startup. In the business world, it is pitch decks, not business plans, that get companies funded. A pitch deck is often what investors, partners, or your first employees see first of your company. So making an early impression is crucial. It's like a first date. If you don't wow the reader immediately in the first few seconds, the answer is most likely going to be a no. I've been working in venture capital and I've seen over 200 pitch decks. So this is my perspective on what Facebook did right, what they did wrong, and how you can use that information. Here we have a website called Digiday, and they posted one of Facebook's first media kits online. A media kit is kind of like a pitch deck, it's just more tailored towards advertisers. So here we can see that they were able to scan some of Facebook's original media kits publications and upload them to the website here. There's another website that I found that took this media kit and put it into a slide format. The slide layout is a little bit different. Pitch decks tend to be a little bit longer. Here we see they go over the cover, they have an opening quote, they have the solution or their key value proposition. Then they talk about the product for a few slides, the market validation, the vision that they have, the market size, and then they go into user demographics and user engagement. Lastly, they talk about services, contact us, and then a closing quote. So let's dive right into it. They have an opening and they say that classes are being skipped, work is ignored, students are spending hours in front of the computer in utter fascination. The Facebook.com craze has swept through campus. So this is a great opening quote because it starts to paint the story that their product is relevant and people are using this product. Now the next slide is really important. This is probably the most important slide, and that is the intro slide. It explains what your product does and usually what you've built so far and where you want to go in the future. So here they say that the Facebook.com is an expanding online directory that connects students, alumni, faculty, and staff through social networks at colleges and universities. This online directory allows for user connections on the basis of friendship, courses, and social networks, including intra and inter-school networks, and has built-in messaging system. So this is a very good go-to slide. It's very clear what they do. The next thing is they go into the user profile, again, telling the reader more about what exactly they do. Next, they talk about what else they do. How are they better than existing services out? They talk a bit about social networking here, and these add to the story of this being a social network. They go more in depth on what an intra-school networking looks like, and then they go into where they already are. They talk about the schools that they already are at, for example, Harvard University, but then they also talk about the schools that they're planning to reach in the next few weeks. Here, Harvard, Columbia, Yale, Dartmouth, Cornell, University of Pennsylvania, Brown University, and Princeton, which just adds to their credibility, and all of these people at Ivy League schools are using their product. This just again shows to the investor, or in this case the advertisers, that they are growing quickly. They talk about the further expansion plan, and here they show their big vision. They want to be at 200 member schools within just 6 months later. This is again showing velocity of growth and making anyone that's not part of this ecosystem miss out. Next, they talk about the audience. They talk about the college addiction here that shows the market size. They say that their target audience has a purchasing power of over 85 billion. And then they break it down into each category to, again, give the investor, or the advertisers in this case, what different industries could be advertised on this platform. Next, they talk about the user demographics, and I'm just going to skip through this. They just talk about their current user base with different categories, in this case, Ivy League school, other schools, faculty, alumni, and the students. They talk about demographics on men, women, the age. And then here they talk about how many people really use this platform. And in my opinion, this should be front and center, because they say that they have over 65% of their users are daily unique users. 95% of users are monthly unique users, and then they say that they have over 3 million page views in daily traffic. And this is crazy, especially for that time. That's a lot of users, a lot of eyeballs, and a lot of attention that advertisers want to grab for a general pitch deck that investors want to see. And this is one of their core KPIs, and that's the monthly traffic and page views. And they say they have 90 million page views in monthly traffic, which is just insane for advertisers. They want to be where all of these page views are. They want to advertise on these pages. They have another quote sprinkled in here. Now they talk about the growth rate, which is really important, especially for early and mid-stage startups, where they say that the growth rate is increasing. They have a lot of new users being added every single month, every single week. And again, telling the story of we are growing, advertise with us or invest in us. They talk about their online advertising services, and this is tailored more specifically towards ad tech companies. It's important to tell the unique story of why advertising with this specific platform is so unique compared to other platforms. With Facebook, it is we are hyper targeted. We know our audience and we use data in order to deliver the best results on your investment on advertising. Here they talk about the different ways they can target their audience, but I'm not going to go into that. Then they talk about rates. So for a traditional startup, this would usually be the pricing slide or how they are going to make money. They're not too specific here and could improve on that for a general pitch deck, but in this case, they pretty much just say, contact us for further information, and these are the ways that we charge. And last but not least, there's usually a contact us slide to get in touch with the founders. Nothing too specific here, except that the last slide after the contact us slide is another quote from the Harvard Independent, closing the whole loop of this story that they're telling, that they are relevant, they are being used, they're growing, and any advertiser that is thinking about advertising towards college students should definitely think about advertising at facebook.com. So what did we learn with this pitch deck? We learned that Facebook did a great job telling the story that they're growing, they are relevant, and that people are using their platform on a daily basis. They had a big emphasis on numbers. They were already able to show their growth with numbers. And if you are ever in the position where you can do that, I highly emphasize that you should definitely put any of the KPIs that you're using to measure your growth or your impact that you have on people with numbers that you can back up by data. This is really impressive for investors, and it just tells the story that you are ready to grow even further and become a behemoth in your space. Second, the pitch deck was short and sweet. We looked at the pitch deck that was a little bit abbreviated just to make it more clear on the PowerPoint. But if you look at their original media kit, it was only 6 or 7 pages long, which is crazy that they packed all of that information into that few slides. Through that, they were able to focus on the most important things, where it was the story and it was the growth. And lastly, they were able to grab the viewer's attention. They were able to paint the vision that everyone at college campuses in the next 5 to 10 years is going to use the facebook.com in order to socialize with their peers, to meet other people. And as history has shown, they were able to do that. And with that vision, they were able to grab the investor or the advertising people's attention and were able to convert that into real ad dollars. If you have a startup that you are working on, let us know in the comments, hit the subscribe button. And if there's a pitch deck that you would like me to review, shoot me an email and I'm happy to work together with you. Peace.